Okay. Oops, wrong screen. Huh. Where did the dojo go to? Oh, one of these. Okay. Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here for, after all. Oops, sorry. Wrong button. Okay, tab. It's this one. There are two wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys, just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. Okay.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock and click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, there's nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. What? How is this related? I don't think that's related. I think the piece of paper is related. It's a ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow. But how could it possibly be involved? Okay. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Byakuya?
Hmm.
Forget it. Yeah, I think Kyoko is the guilty one here. Come on now, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location? Yeah, where do we have to go?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Clever. But how are we supposed to find out about that? Yeah, the library. Yes.
Let's go.
Well, we only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. Yes, he's... Okay. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Pyoko seemed to know this archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. Well,
I see.
take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Yeah, especially in Japan. They would mostly work on English. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you. But I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. Okay, whatever. Just ignore him. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolves of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they had acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds this all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Well, exciting isn't a word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said sometime about the name, where the name comes from, right? That's right, it said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Okay. So the dead person is...
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us. Organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial!
And then it's Kyoko. What is she going to... What's she going to do?
Please meet up in the usual spot. See you later!
Then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class
That's
trial.
right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Oh, there's so many secrets still we need to find out. And where's Kyoko? Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? But Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
Huh?
What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second? He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But Kyoko's not going to show up. She's not showing up.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... Oh, what?
What?
Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the one making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here. Now can we? Well, what are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. It's me you're waiting for. I'm here. Kyoko.
Hey.
I'm here, and no rules been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty, officially. But I'll bet you'll be sorry later. Well, yeah, because she's guilty. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Okay. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right, now we gotta do with the... Oh, shut up, hero, not now. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. the second floor.
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now, I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma!
Makoto.
We can go over the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Huh. We all have alibis. It's got to be Kyoko. It was the blinding light of despair. Sorry, I went to get something. What, the room's changed?
I can't wait!
The time for pointless jokes and jabs have passed. Let's get on with the show! And throw the curtain open for the 5th time. Yep, let's save. I feel like we know everything. Truth bullets. Oh, why are there so many? I feel like, how does the missing chicken come into it? Huh, okay. I'm not gonna bother. We'll just fling our way through it. I didn't have any new skills. Fine. Okay. I don't
Let's
like...
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If
Okay,
you can... Okay.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Oh my gosh, Hiro, come on.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Wow.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Kyoko's gloves?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh, Hiro, please, not now. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. Alright, make our argument. Tattoo on the right hand. The fake nails also work.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Cause that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
Okay.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I'm so with Byakuya right now.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a...
The dead body wasn't wearing...
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's not it. Okay.
Shoot!
Alright.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Explode body analysis.
Okay, then prove
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Fake nails, I'm gonna go with that.
Cause that corpse is absolute.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko. Okay, then prove
The dead body
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope.
Shoot!
What? Why are we even bothering?
That Kyoko there is
Okay,
just
oh,
a
I
ghost.
thought I went fake nails.
Okay, then prove
The dead body
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
There we go.
No,
Oh,
that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
yeah. Okay.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Okay.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yes, oh my goodness.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Identify the victim. Yep. Tattoo on the right hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
There we go. Easy.
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
A cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Hero, what's gotten into you?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Wow.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Okay. It should be... Makudo Ikusaba's profile.
I got it!
Yep.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Hangman's Gambit. Okay. Is it Ragnarok? Oh, what? What? Wolf? Oh, Wolf of Ragnarok. Oh, duh. Why didn't I see that? Oh, I'm an idiot. Come on, F. Where are you? Easy.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Yeah, duh. Come on, hero, get on board.
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy
It's still
title
the
to me.
headmaster.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Wow, Toko's actually been constructive. Wow, when did this show up? Why didn't you say stuff like this the whole... Where was this the whole game? Come on.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
Well, she was.
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
The headmaster. Alter Ego was correct.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
Really?
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Nope.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
No, we're gonna find out. We're not listening to you.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
I don't think we really care about that right now anymore.
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brain!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Oh, you're hilarious.
No,
Oh.
there are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Looking at Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Ah, somehow I have to clear ourselves.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Good clarification argument. Good thing to bring up. Good job, Makoto. Smartest thing you've done in like the
Doing
past
that
10
might reveal
hours.
some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
That was at 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably the 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
And I didn't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove that the murder didn't happen. Yes, the sprinklers. We know this already. Sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, what? Oops. Sorry.
Shoot!
Alright, sorry. I should have just waited for the
We've
whole thing.
established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock
In the morning.
Yep. And
Yeah, from to 7:30.
that's more than enough.
Time to commit. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Oh, what? Okay. Yes, I know.
We've established
I just
a
don't know
time
what to
frame for the
shoot.
murder. It took place somewhere
Between 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay, there we go.
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly.
Yeah, because you were exploded in the
body
thing.
was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
I don't even know what that means.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Wow, what a leap. You're really reaching there.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Was it Toko then? Alright, a music round, I'm assuming? Yep, remember the truth. Okay.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no!
That's
I
rude.
don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no!
Okay, I'm out of bullets.
I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no!
There we go. I've mastered this part. This is so
How
easy.
can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What are you on about?
Sick of her.
I know,
Let's
right?
just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
But Kyoko doesn't.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko murdered someone?
I'd
That's...
just like to say one thing.
Okay.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
But then we're all gonna die.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
So that leaves Toko.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
From what we know, that is a sound argument. But we don't know what Kyoko
If
knows.
she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Really?
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Oh.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
The top.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Could we have just been like so deluded by the fever and the...
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Oh dear. Why would Kyoko say that? Huh. A tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? Huh, but the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Oh no. Body before the explosion?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Oops, nope, sorry. With too eager again.
By covering the body, the killer prevents...
So the reason that is because the spring...
But the underside, it was totally...
It's because that side was protected
Okay,
from the
I
water.
shouldn't do
Since
that.
it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
There we go, that was what we needed.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
The blood was camouflage?
After the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
What?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Who could this be?
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
What? Oh, the chicken!
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop
Oh, that's-
before the murder, there were 5
Okay, that's where the
chickens.
chicken comes in, but still, who did it?
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Oh, okay.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oh no, we're being framed!
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Huh, okay. Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? Disguised dead body has been added to the truth boards. Okay.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50
Oh my
odds.
gosh.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
Oh, shush.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh no.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Oh, it's our knife.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we going to do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
We're being framed!
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now. Yeah, just say it! Bloody hell! Okay. Now what?
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, so there's just a one weak spot.
The knife we found
And I
lodged
should have
in the
read what
dead
Makoto
body.
just thought.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
I guess
It
explain.
really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well,
Getting
Stabbed is what killed her, right?
Okay, that's not it.
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged in the
Fragments?
dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
Oh, there's a second weak spot.
I was
But that's
afraid
not
of
wrong.
if he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her,
Nope.
right?
Shoot!
Hmm.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
if he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well,
Getting stabbed is what...
Okay, I guess it did.
No, that's wrong.
I just took a guess there. I'm sorry. I'm at an actual loss.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Okay.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
No, there's no way that's possible. Had been stabbed a single time.
I got
The
it!
Monokuma file.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level.
Oh,
spontaneous
Hero, you've been
combustion.
useless.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Alright, there's the fragment.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
Really?
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
The arrows?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Yeah.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Really? Oh.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Is there any leaves?
Then, shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal. The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? Then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Well, I really don't know here.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
There we go. Oh, I'm surprised I got that on the first go.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt
Oh,
object.
true.
About as thick as a metal
Why didn't we read the
pipe.
Monokuma file and assume it was the knife?
Oh,
Wow.
I bet it was the pickaxe.
Oh.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it
Oh, yeah,
inflates
right.
their skull in completely.
Yeah, Togo's actually contributing. Thank you.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit
Okay,
on it.
we're getting derailed here.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Alright, come on, come on.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Oh, why are you making us do it? Oh, the woodblock key? No, titanium arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, and Kyoko's alibi was that she couldn't get into her room. So unless it was Byakuya,
Hey!
which I'm also
How dare
suspecting.
You backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Himino for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. The bloody duct tape?
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Yeah, I believe Hino. It wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used
The titanium arrow.
the woodblock key.
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
What?
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
You have no right!
Okay.
The titanium, it was
In the dojo, I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
Let's try this. Nope.
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must. It seems like
An arrow would just be too...
Okay, that worked.
No, that's wrong.
I've had to make so many guesses. I'm so lost, actually.
You're right. Just the one arrow would
Oh,
have
the
been too
blood
weak.
tape was to...
That's why the killer used another weapon.
They...
another weapon.
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
So they stuck the arrows
The
together.
killer probably used this duct
Okay,
tape to
I didn't
bind
make that
multiple
connection.
arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
No.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Oh, was this really Byakuya?
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Yeah, we have the key, but it was found in Byakuya's room.
I got it!
Sorry, not Byakuya's room. Kyoko's room that was
The
locked.
one thing that proves
That was locked.
Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of
Nope,
the
it's
puzzle.
not.
Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
Hey, just listen for once.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which could mean that Kyoko, she killed someone. For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
There's proof.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
Yeah, because you had the key to her room. Okay, I'm getting some bits really well, but not everything. When the body was found? What? No, that's not it.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko, yes, I know that. Which could mean...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide.
There's proof that you
Aren't the culprit.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, but that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. Wait, what? Was that what? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever, and I die here, which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap. The mastermind's trap is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What should I do? Oh no, do we have a choice? The mastermind's trap. The victim was Makuto and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lying. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Oh. I think this is the big choice. We kill Kyoko and try and get out on our own, or we all die, let Kyoko win, and expose the school. Run away? I can't run away. I'm leaning towards letting Kyoko do it, because I trust her. And I'm thinking more for the greater good. Exposing the school is most important than... Exposing the school is more important than trying to save ourselves and trying to solve it ourselves. But maybe we do solve it ourselves. But that's not guaranteed. And I'm afraid this will end the game prematurely if I let it go. Can I run away? Will that, like, delay everything? Oh, why is it giving me a third option? Ah! Okay. I'm gonna do this and then I guess we can go back to the save file and try the other way. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
What?
It had to be Makoto.
No!
I don't see any other option.
Well, wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
Oh no. We're gonna die. It's game over.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Oh, we're gone.
Voting time?
Oh. Alright, it's game over. I didn't think this would happen!
Now, who will be... Hey, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh. Alright. Wait. This is what we wanted, right? Kyoko still wins.
Sorry.
Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
What? No, I know that's not... None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense.
Shing! Thrills, chills, kills!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Ah. Do we at least find out what happens afterwards? Okay. I did choose this. Oof. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. Chihiro! Wait, what? Oh. Never mind. Never mind. I'm dead.
What?
Huh? What's going on? Hey, what was that? It had to be.
This is...
Alter Ego. Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network! Damn it all to hell! I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe we didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still going to bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Wait, what? Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
So...
Why don't you just explain it? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. Yeah, we've already read this, it's from the beginning. Wasn't me? Wait, what? I missed that. Huh? Well, what? Where am I? My body felt heavy. It would be weird to zonk off in the middle of some boring class, but what was I doing asleep here just now? What the heck is going on? Oh, okay. We're in the trash. Okay. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together, and then I was awake. Or was this another dream? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Okay. Okay, we're still alive. We're still alive. Oh my gosh, I was so scared. I need a moment. Oh, Chihiro. Chihiro. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. Oh. Hello. Firstly, what are you? That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at all, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be easy. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-round bad idea? I feel like I'm blocked in. That's not enough to give up because I'm still alive. Go to sleep. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Oh, what the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? What could it have been? Oh, I can look up. Anyway, this is food for us, right? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. What? Kyoko!
It smells
This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing much better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey,
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, I ate it. Oof, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Alright. What are we gonna do? But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
so...
To pay a debt. Or no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I...
Abandon you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to
In
survive
other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did. Once.
I...
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible! Amnesia? Then, is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seemed much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think... I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you.
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? If she believes that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand.
Understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Huh? It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing.
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just a personality. Well, I mean, you came for me, so I have no reason to not trust you. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own, so how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Ooh, you mentioned your ability. My ability? I'm the ultimate detective. Knew it! The ultimate detective. Correct. And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What? What? I'm speechless. What? Okay. What? What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. Well, that makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I stuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Makuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school? It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. Well, what do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Okay. How are we getting out of here, though?
However...
Okay. No, I already got that.
However...
Alright. I better talk to... What?
However... So...
Okay. Let's keep looking. There's an unbelievable amount of trash here. This is a desk. That's a rocket. Is this a glitch?
However,
Oh, right. Oh, come on. I didn't know that, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her, and I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mikuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Oh! I'm glad... Okay, we made the right choice. Get you killed?
indeed,
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind, they knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Host Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
And there's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusawa. What's that? There was a point where Mikuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Oh, right. I could have become the victim?
indeed,
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know, the footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Nakuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed,
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. So Byakuya is the mastermind? But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. But wasn't the purpose of killing me was to frame Kyoko? So what does it all
In
mean?
other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto,
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. I think it's Byakuya. The identity of the other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mikuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead, but I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
indeed,
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're
That's
talking
right.
about what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy.
it would seem,
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Alright, it's still 6. It's not Byakuya, can it? Alright. well, we have to end the video right here. And we're gonna find out more answers, hopefully, in the next video. Yes, let's bloody save. I don't want to do that again. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Alright, well firstly we have to get out of here, so I'll see you soon, hopefully not smelling like trash.